From a plain piece of paper to a finished piece in 10 minutes using acrylics, 2 colors plus black and white, and some mark making tools. Let's do this. Hi friend, welcome back. Or I should say, you might want to welcome me back because I have been MIA for this past, I would say, 8 months or so, maybe longer. I'm back to do a 10-minute exercise with you, and while I'm doing this, I'll explain what my year has been like. All right, so we've got a 6 by 6 inch here, and these are the ones that I've done before, and I just want to check real quick. Hold on. Okay, it's been too long, so I want to make sure. Yes, they are 6 by 6. Okay. This is the last one that I did, and here's a variety of different 10-minute exercises that I've done with you guys. If you want to see them all, just go to my main page on YouTube and scroll down, and you'll see a section labeled 10-minute exercises, and you'll find all of them there. So let's set these aside and let's do these. So I picked 2 colors, and I picked, oh my goodness, I think they're like the worst 2 colors. And I opened them, and you can tell that I've never used these. I've already put them out here, but let me show you what they are. Actually, this is a great color, and I'm not going to pronounce it correctly. Indanthrone blue? I don't know. I'm so bad at pronouncing these, but it's a really pretty blue, as you can see here. But I just never get around to using it, so I'm going to use that today. And then I've got here Venetian red. Honestly, not a favorite color of mine. It's a dull color in my opinion. It's very muted. They're both Nova Color paints. You guys know I love my Nova Color. If you want my Betty's bundle, which these 2 colors are not in Betty's bundle, all those bright happy colors are, then go ahead and leave the words Nova or Nova Color, and I'll send you a link to that. Okay, and it's December, which means that Nova Color is running specials all month long. So if you've been wanting to try these, now's the time to do that. Okay, then I'm using black, but this is not a true black, because what I did was in my last workshop that I taught in Canada, I had everybody put in their leftover paints, and maybe you can see a little bit right in there of the leftover paints, and I kind of mixed that up. So it's really more of a gray color, and that's what I've got here on my palette. All right, so we're going to use that. And then I've got my titanium white, and I'm trying to finish using up this one. It's almost empty. So that's why I've got the large jar here. I've got a number of different brushes. I've got mark making tools that I'm going to be using. So when I'm using a limited palette like this, especially for the 10-minute exercises, I like to just use 2 colors plus black and white, or in this case, gray and white. But when it comes to these, I use any color that I grab, so I don't restrict myself there. I've got water kind of off to the side so that you don't see it reflecting in the light. And I've got my phone here. We're going to set this up for, let's move a few things. Okay, so we've got it set for 10 minutes, and I'm hoping that you can see that from where you're at. If not, I can definitely see it. All right, so let's just get started, and I'll chat with you guys a little bit. All right. Let's go. I'm taking just a pencil. I like to start with pencil, and check out this gorgeous new color I got. And this one that, let's see, this one I got on Vancouver Island. I love that color. This one I think I picked up on Vancouver Island too. All right, and how about just a regular pencil? How about a green? Whoa, that's like a lot going on there. All right, so let's move into some paints. And what I like to do is I like to grab some right away. I'm just going to grab it out of the jar here, and let's spread some of that out. And again, normally I use black straight out of the jar, like this is carbon black, but because I mixed some leftover paints, it makes this fantastic gray color that we're going to use today. So, and I'm doing a really light layer of it. I don't want to put it on too thick and too heavy because we've only got 9 minutes now. All right, I'm going to set that aside and set aside that brush. I'm going to grab another brush, and actually I usually like to use this one. I'm going to just wipe it off a bit and just go right into my white, and let's just come in and make some marks. Now, I say this all the time, I'm trying to stay loose. You know, I still have this style of painting, but I'm trying to really stay loose. And you could tell by the way I hold my brush, I'm not writing a novel. I don't have it down here like this. So I'm trying to stay loose. All right, I'm done with that brush. Let's grab another one. All right, so I've got this one, and let's go right into mixing some colors. I'm going to take that Venetian red and just mix it with a little bit of white, and let's make some lines with it. And let's add a little bit more white to it, and I don't know, how about over here, kind of balancing it with what I put there. We'll put some marks over here like that, and I know I already covered up some of that initial, and that's okay. We'll come back to that. All right, I'm going to wipe this down a bit. I'm going to go into that blue, and whatever I had on my brush plus that blue, that's a nice dark color. See, we've already got some dark areas, but this blue is going to add some more dark areas. You know, I feel like I could do some more circles. All right, let's try some circles over here. Go right off the page. Let's do one here, and a third one, and a fourth one. Now kind of, see, now these are competing, right? So I've got these over here, and these, whoops, I think I hit pause on accident there. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is decide which one I'm gonna use, but I don't have to decide that just yet. Let's just continue mixing some colors. Ugh. All right, I'm not liking that at all. Scratch into that a bit. Okay, so I'm truly being challenged because these are not my go-to colors. So what can I do to kind of maybe lighten this up a bit? And I don't know, let's just put a circle down here. I think I'm going to end up obliterating some of those circles. Now I can, you know, I'm not using yellow. I was going to say, well, maybe I can make a green, but no, I don't think I can make a green today. So I've got all these marks, but I want to bring back this mark. I'm just trying to figure out what color that should be, because it's going to end up competing with that other color that I've already got there. All right, well, let me just work through this a bit. So this past year, this is 2026, excuse me, it's 2025. I've been thinking about 2026, and we are in December. It's actually December 1st when I'm recording this. And this year, at the end of May, I left California and I headed north, and I went to go visit my daughter in Boise. That's a pretty color there. She's in Boise, and so I visited with her, and then I went up into Montana. I did all this in my RV. My RV's name is Lucy, so Lucy and I have been on this grand adventure together. And so then through Montana, which Montana is absolutely gorgeous, and that was, you know, May, end of May, beginning of June, just so beautiful there. Then I continued to travel up, and I went across Washington, visited some friends, especially in Seattle area. And then I continued, let me check my time, 5 minutes, okay. And then I went up to Vancouver to teach, and that was a lot of fun. I was on Vancouver Island, and I taught a workshop there, and then I visited with my cousins who lived there. Then I continued on across all of Canada. So, and some of you guys may know this, but I am Canadian. I was born in Toronto, and I was 7 years old when we left. So I really didn't get to see the country at all. And so it was great to go and just have this adventure of going across. I'm going to go right over these here. So going across Canada through all the provinces. I got all the way to Montreal. Oh, I did go to Toronto and I taught a workshop. And then I went to Montreal after that. And I visited some artist friends along the way, and that was a lot of fun too. I'm going to just go over this one here a bit. I'm liking this blue here that I made. And I'm going to do some filling in over here. All right. Doing some quick filling in because I'm down to 4 minutes. So I've got to hurry it up a bit. I guess that talking wasn't such a good idea there. Slowed me down just a touch. So then I went to Boston after Montreal, dropped down into Boston, and I ended up parking my RV, parking Lucy. I found a place to have her parked, and I went overseas to visit my parents in Croatia, and that was fantastic. And then I went to France, and that was in October, and I taught a workshop, actually an art retreat. It wasn't just a workshop, it was a retreat. So we had excursions. We went to like 7 different places in the south of France. It was so fantastic. Really loved it. I'm going to switch out my brush real quick. Oh, I was hoping to find my rigger. There it is. Let's get some other lines in here. Just going to add a little white to that. Let's do some lines here. So I went and did, these are now competing, which I don't like that. And the France workshop, let me tell you, it was spectacular. I had no idea it was going to be that fantastic. All right, got under 3 minutes now. So I really, really had such a fantastic time. You know, we painted, we created art. I taught a full workshop during that time as well. So it wasn't just excursions, it was teaching, learning, doing a lot of the fundamentals, and then giving students time to create on their own, which was a lot of fun too. Watching them, you know, take what they learned and applying it and creating pieces of art. So that was so fantastic. And the group was just so much fun to be with. All right, let's, I put out way too much paint today. All right, so I'm gonna come in here with some dots. And I'm down to about 2 minutes, so I'm really trying to move quickly here. I want to come back with, let's come back over here. Oh, I do like that lighter value. Hold on. Oh, I'm down to 1.5 minutes. Okay, yeah, this isn't quite the color I wanted because it's kind of competing there. I didn't really want that, but I'm doing the best I can. Okay, here, a lighter value. I like this value better. Okay, lighter values. And I want to go over that one corner there. Oh, wrong color. Let's see. No, go lighter. Okay, I just wanted to kind of give this a second coat here. Let's come across this way. All right, and then I wanted some more white. Hold on, I've got less than 1 minute. All right, I can do this. Let me clean my brush real quick. All right, see, I shouldn't chat too much when I'm doing this, right? That's all right. We're just here to loosen up and have some fun. How about I just bring some white over this way? Okay, and I want to do some final mark making. So what can I do? What kind of marks can I make where the area isn't wet? Not a whole lot, huh? All right, down to 25 seconds. Let's do some scribbles too. All right, what can I do? Let me grab, where's my pencil? Oh, see, I lose time just looking for something. Okay, that's okay. I'm just gonna grab this. I'll do some scribbles there. Maybe a few down here, like that. Oh, 3, 2, 1, and I'm done. All right, that's it. All right, let me turn that off. Okay, wow, too much chit-chatting, but you know, I still feel like I got a lot done here. And what I like about it is that I still focused on getting some larger elements in here, although these are kind of competing with what's going on here. So if I had more time, I would definitely rework some of this area down here. This area up here, I like the lighter value that I brought in, kind of balancing with what I've got over here. These blues, okay, you know, I've got this brighter blue and a softer blue. I like that combination. I like the darker area down here. You know, coming in with final scribbles, that was like, you know, super fast, and that's okay too, because I wanted to keep them nice and loose. I had a pencil right here I could have used. Okay, so I'm okay with it. It's not my absolute favorite, if I'm going to be honest. This last one that I did earlier, oh, this was August 27th, 2024 is when I did this one. I really like this one. Oh no, this is not the last one of my videos. This was an earlier one. But I really like the composition on this one. But I also like the colors that I used here too, because they're just colors that I think work better together. The yellow, I used ochre and a teal color. And this one here, you know, I'm using those muted neutrals. So I didn't have, when you work with a yellow, you have more options, is how I feel. So here I felt like I didn't have as many options to make colors, but that's okay. Again, it's a challenge. That's why I call it a 10-minute challenge. So really challenging myself to do something within those 10 minutes. So let me show this to you up close. I got to stand up a bit. Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm moving the camera there. All right. Let me come up closer here. There we go. And so one thing I didn't tell you is that I'm in my RV recording this. I'm going to include a picture for you here of my setup, which is just madness if you ask me. It's so tight in here. But I wanted to get back to creating videos for you guys. So I have to make do with the space that I have. All right. So that's what we've got. And I was going to show it to you with a plain background, but I don't have any white paper in front of me to show that to you. So I'll get a photo of it and you'll see that at the very end here. Okay, so let me know, what do you think about these two colors? Favorite or not favorite? I think you already know my opinion about it. And I'll come back with another exercise, and maybe this next one I'll pick two of my favorite colors to do and see how that goes. All right, I hope that you get a chance to do a 10-minute exercise, whether that's with me or set the timer yourself and go for it and have some fun, loosen up, relax, enjoy the process, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care and have a super fantastic and creative day. See ya.